Cut the engine, hands where we can see them. The Coast Guard boat roared up alongside her yacht, waves slapping hard against fiberglass as uniformed officers pointed weapons and shouted over the wind. She didn't flinch. Standing at the helm in a sleek black tank top and tactical cargo pants, her long dark hair tied back and her piercing blue eyes locked on the lead officer, she looked more annoyed than afraid. "Ma'am, you're in restricted waters. Step aside immediately." She raised a single brow. "You might want to double-check that." The officer stepped onto her deck, hand resting on his holster. "You match the description of a smuggler we're tracking. Female, armed, former military, evasive maneuvers in a stolen vessel." She crossed her arms, the tank top clinging to her defined chest, but her stance radiated command, not flirtation. "This boat is mine, paid in full, registered in my name, and I'm not running. You're just late." Tension tightened. Another officer reached for the radio. She didn't budge. Instead, she slowly reached into her back pocket and pulled out a weathered black leather ID. The lead officer snatched it. His face went pale the moment he opened it. "U.S. Army Special Operations, Level 9 clearance," he muttered. "Code name, Nix?" She nodded once. "That's right. I used to be the shadow behind the Ghost. Delta Force cross-trained. Deep cover ops. Do you want my CO's number 2, or are we done here?" You could hear a pin drop on the water. The younger guards looked back and forth in disbelief. The lead officer slowly handed her the ID, his hands visibly shaking now. I apologize, ma'am. We had no idea." She gave a cold smile. "No, you didn't. That's the problem." Behind her, the yacht's control panel began to beep softly. A drone cam hovered overhead, silently recording. "I'm tracking cartel subs headed for U.S. waters," she said calmly. "You just interrupted an intercept mission." "What?" She tapped the screen. "Encrypted intel. I don't work for you. I work for people 3 floors above your command." Then came the real twist. Flashback. Just 2 years ago, she led a unit into the Colombian jungle to extract a captured diplomat. Helicopter shot down. 2 men lost. She carried both bodies out herself, one over each shoulder, never broke radio silence, never asked for credit. Her reward? A forced retirement. She vanished into the private sector until 2 weeks ago when a signal pinged her from a dormant ops channel. The government needed her again, quietly, no fanfare, no backup. Just her, a boat and a mission. Back in the present, one of the Coast Guard officers stepped forward. "Is there anything we can do?" She looked at him, unblinking. "Yes. Get off my deck, and do not follow me." They backed away. No one argued. The next day, that same crew received encrypted footage anonymously delivered to headquarters. It showed her, alone, intercepting a cartel transport vessel disguised as a fishing trawler. Her boat's hidden arsenal opened fire with surgical precision. Within minutes, she boarded, disabled the crew, and recovered a hard drive full of trafficking routes. All on her own. No orders, no backup, no errors. The headlines didn't say her name. They never do. But the footage spread. Special Forces siren. Nix intercept. Cha-Cha Coast Guard freeze. Weeks later, the Coast Guard officer who'd stopped her stood at a Pentagon security briefing, watching that very footage with his superior. "That's the woman you tried to detain." He nodded slowly. "Sir, we thought she was a threat." His commander replied, "She is. Just not to us." Somewhere off the Florida coast, Nick sat alone at the bow of her yacht, wind in her hair, weapon at her side. Her mission is complete, her silence unbroken. A new alert blinked on her screen. Another operation. She stood, strapped on her vest, and whispered, "You don't retire from who you are. You just wait for the next call." Before we end this story, let us know in the comment where are you watching from. If this story touched you, subscribe to the channel and hit that like button and drop a karma in the comments below.